the last class, we have completed all aspects of the directive principles of state policy. Today, we shall go to the next topic, that is fundamental duties. The fundamental duties are incorporated in the Indian Constitution in Part 4A and Article 51A. We shall see what are these duties, to whom they are addressed, what is the nature of the fundamental duties, what is the significance or importance of the fundamental duties, then how they are being implemented, etc. we shall see. And we shall discuss this topic keeping in view both the preliminary examination and also the main examination. So here Part 4A and 51A of the Constitution deal with the fundamental duties which were added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. So that means originally these fundamental duties were not incorporated in the Constitution. They were added to the Constitution by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. We shall discuss why they are included in the Constitution in 1976 by 42nd Amendment Act and what is the importance of these fundamental duties. Okay. Then the fundamental duties are addressed to whom they are addressed. See, as far as addressing the fundamental rights, the directive principles of state policy and fundamental duties, a question may be asked: which of the following provisions of the Indian Constitution are addressed to the citizens of India? Fundamental rights, fundamental duties, directive principles of state policy. 1 only correct, 1 and 2 correct, 2 only correct, 1, 2, 3 correct, 2 and 3 only correct. Answer is only 2. 2 means fundamental duties. Because fundamental rights are addressed to the state, not to do certain things. Directive principles of state policy are addressed to the state, advising the state to do certain things. That is, do not. This is do. That means fundamental rights are negative sanctions against the state, and directive principles of state policy are positive instructions to the state. So as far as fundamental duties are concerned, they are like fundamental duties, but they are addressed to the citizens. Again, say positive instructions. Every citizen, say, because it is addressed to the citizens of India. Followed. It shall be the duty of every citizen. It begins like that. So here, as far as inclusion or addition of fundamental duties is concerned, we have seen 42nd Amendment Act 1976. The fundamental duties are addressed to the citizens of India, reminding their duties. They are your duties, you have to do it, towards the society and the nation. Fundamental duties are addressed to the citizens of India, reminding the citizens, followed, their duties towards the society and also the nation. To whom they are addressed and why they are addressed means they are addressed to every individual citizen of India. They are addressed to every individual citizen of India. So every citizen, not the people of India, only citizens of India. It is the responsibility of the citizens of India to follow these duties, not the foreigners. So therefore, they are addressed to individual citizens of India. Then from where these fundamental duties are adopted? Because we have seen the sources of Indian Constitution. There also I told you, but here specifically we have to discuss about this. From where? So means here fundamental duties are influenced by which constitutions? So source of the fundamental duties. The fundamental duties are adopted from the constitution of the erstwhile USSR. USSR erstwhile, because now there is no USSR, because in 1991 it was disintegrated into 15 independent states. So therefore at that time in 1976 USSR was there. Now there is no USSR, and that is the reason why we are using the term erstwhile USSR. Means the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. So when we have adopted them into the Indian Constitution, the source was taken from the Constitution of the erstwhile USSR. Apart from the Constitution of the USSR, they were also influenced by the Constitution of Japan and China, because USSR is so totally socialistic and communistic country, and China also is a communistic country, and we have adopted them mainly because they were mainly influenced by these constitutions. The fundamental duties were incorporated in the Indian Constitution on the recommendations of Sardar Swaran Singh Committee 1976. Sardar Swaran Singh Committee. In 1976, the Government of India appointed a committee to study and recommend whether to include the fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution or not. For that purpose, a committee was appointed and it was headed by Sardar Swaran Singh. So therefore it is called Sardar Swaran Singh Committee 1976, recommended for inclusion of the fundamental duties in the Indian Constitution. So what is the probable question here? Fundamental duties are included in the Indian Constitution on the recommendations of which of the following committee? So you have to answer accordingly. Then we shall see the nature of the fundamental duties, because earlier also when we have studied fundamental rights, we have seen the nature. When we have studied about the directive principles of state policy, there also we have discussed about the nature of the DPSP, means directive principles of state policy. Now we shall see what is the nature of the fundamental duties. The fundamental duties are non-justiciable, means like DPSP, directive principles of state policy. Then what do you mean by non-justiciable? So therefore fundamental duties are non-justiciable, which means they cannot be enforced by the courts, because they cannot be enforced by the court. So we cannot challenge. So in any court, and court cannot direct to implement them or follow them. Followed. So like the directive principles of state policy. So therefore as far as the nature is concerned, like the directive principles of state policy, the fundamental duties are also non-justiciable, and therefore